So.
I decided to remove her nipples.
Hi everyone, we're being recorded. It's the 2-Minute Terminator with me, Ethan McKinley, and Ellie Fitzgerald, who I'll answer for. Shut up, you're not allowed to talk. Hit the music. Where beat you to it.
Watch out for machines, they're unstoppable. Watch out for machines, they will rule the world.
And we're back.
Do you know what I love? In one of Spaldner's last messages, he was just like, I'm loving the Ellie snort Luke, and I was like, yes. I got credit for your snorting pig.
Well, you know what? There's
You know what?
You know what?
What?
This should be an action-packed episode.
Why?
Have
you got facts coming out of your bell end?
Kinda, yeah. I've just deleted them though, so I'm just going to try and get them back on my screen. So bear with me.
Fucking cretin.
I know.
That's so you, Ethan. You've got all the tools, but
I am a tool.
Can't pull it off, mate. Can't pull it off. Well, we're going from minute 50 to 52. And we've got, I think I must say this in every episode, but it's got one of my favourite scenes in it. Where Sarah Connor gets her face licked.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've mentioned this before in the show. There's lots of facts on this every episode, but the problem...
Are you doing a fact now?
No. Just to explain, the problem I've had is I think I've either made a mistake in the timeline or...
That's becoming a trope in itself, but carry on.
Well, because I did it off the Skynet edition, and then there was not enough facts on the Skynet edition, so I switched to the special edition, which had a trivia track plus the commentary. So it's slightly askew-if, so I'm going to have to wing it and play jazz a little bit, because all the facts that were in the previous episode were nothing to do with the episode we just saw. But basically we're
doing well so far, and we're only a few minutes in.
Yeah, it's... I'd like to say it's episode 26, and we're going from minutes 50 to 52. Now, according to my notes, it's 52 to 54, so that's wrong. So yeah, we'll have to just remind me to kind of make sure the timeline's correct as we go, which is nice.
As we go. Can I say something?
Of course you can.
Oh no, we've already said it. Bollocks. I was going to say hit the music, but you already fucking said it.
Oh no, I stole your moment, you little bastard.
You stole it. I'll get it next time. Mark my words. I always get my man.
46 to 48 was 24, and 48 to 50 was 25, so that is correct. Okay.
Stop getting bombed wrong.
And 25, which is the one we're on now, should be 50 to 52, right?
That's correct.
Excellent. Right.
Excellent.
We begin... God, what am I doing? What am I actually doing? Oh God, I've fucked it up again. Right.
Oh, Ethan, sort your shit out. Can I ask a question, or are you going to give us a fact?
No, it's... Oh, God. Let me just go back to the start of this scene, because I'm fucking confused as fuck.
Okay. So...
Okay, right. It starts off with the T-1000 driving in through the gates. Yeah, I'll go with that.
That's exactly what happens. The guy gives him the little like gate guard gives him the nod. Why does he just need to give him a nod? Any old fucking sucker could have put on a police uniform. Should he not have like a little swipey thing?
Well, it starts with the T-1000 driving through the gates, being administered into the hospital. Administered? No, that means he's a patient, wasn't it? Forget that. Right, being allowed into the hospital grounds. I know it now sounds like a stately home and some Downton Abbey type. Whatever, he just goes through a fucking gate. Anyway.
Would they not question why the police are coming to a hospital?
No.
Why not?
Well, I guess he'd say I'm here to do a pickup or something, maybe.
Really? Yeah, but they wouldn't go in it. They wouldn't go in a car like that. They go in one of those meat wagons, wouldn't
James
they? With a crazy window at the back.
says. Unless, no, I don't know, maybe, because I suppose if you'd been arrested and you were kind of some kind of mental case, maybe the police would pick you up to take you back to a cell or take you back to a police station if you'd been
But
like...
no, because if you're a mental case, you'd need to be in one of those kind of like hospital kind of van things. Because if you put a mental case into a police car, that's just gonna cause panic. No, that would actually unsettle them even more. I think they would be more likely to put them in some kind of hospital transportation.
No, but I'm saying if they're a criminal who's doing like crazy things, I'm not sure how mental institutions work, but if you were like shitting in your own hands and rubbing it on shop windows and like you got arrested,
We're back to Mona Lisa again, the girl with the poo crayon.
would they take you? Would they take you to a mental hospital, or would that happen if you'd pled insanity? Or I don't know. I guess you're right. Maybe.
Or the zoo.
Maybe they just let police drive in there and they go and speak to people. Maybe he says he's got a friend in there he needs to talk to. I don't know.
Yeah, but he didn't. He just gave a friendly wave.
Maybe he's a police escort to like a high risk patient, which is what Sarah Connor is.
True.
I guess to keep Sarah in there, Silverman has to kind of like fudge the numbers a little bit and pretend she's more crazy than she actually is.
Yeah.
And she's a super dangerous patient, so...
Or maybe the guard is just fucking shite and just saw a badge and a uniform and just thought, yeah, go on then, mate.
Well, people are that stupid, aren't they? So
He was probably having a wank in his little booth, eating hobnobs. Because that's what guards do, right? I'm calling him a guard. I don't know what the fuck his position is.
Well, he's a guard.
Question.
I think he has something to do with the retired CIA, or I think he's a police procedural advisor, because I think Cameron mentioned that in his commentary. He didn't say what the man's name was, but he said he was like a retired expert in his field of some kind of like military and or law enforcement expert. So we cast him as the guy that just lets a random policeman into the hospital grounds. So what does that tell you?
This country.
This country.
It's not my country.
So yeah, it starts with that scene and it ends with the fact attack that is the actor Ken. Oh God, I fucking cocked up my notes again. Hang on.
Ken Dodd.
Hang on. Okay, I know. All right, yeah. Sorry, it ends with Dougie, the weird hospital attendant with the glasses who looks not dissimilar from film director of Back to the Future and Roger Rabbit, Robert Zemeckis. He looks very much like him. Dougie is played by Ken Gibble, and this scene ends with him licking Sarah's face. I guess the intonation being she's abused sexually in this facility. And she just puts up with it because she needs to just keep a low profile and just get out of there. So I guess like any soldier, she has to just deal with the situation and hopefully figure out a way out of it.
Bite the pillow, he's going and dry.
Basically, yeah.
My question to you, Ethan.
Ken Gibble, as kind of his career weirdly ended in 1991, The Curse of Terminator again.
Although if you're a stuntman, you'll be propelled to success.
No, Ken Gibble.
Ken Lee.
Ken Gibble is he's a proper actor. He started his career in 1980 with a film called The Octagon. He played a guy called Meat.
Have you seen Spaceballs, by the way?
Octagon. It's a martial artist must defeat a plan by ninjas to create a worldwide training camp for terrorists.
That sounds fucking terrible.
And it stars Chuck Norris and Lee Van Cleef.
Oh God, definitely never watching that.
So then he went on in 1982, 2 years later, he played Courtney in Time Walker.
Courtney. Isn't that a chick's name?
And that starred Ben Murphy and Nina Axelrod. So two...
That's like a Viking porn name.
He did one episode of Rowing to Steel with Pierce Brosnan in 1983. For the Love and the Honour in 1983. So he's doing okay. He's getting jobs. He's had 2 jobs in 1983 now. That's good for a fledgling actor. He did an episode of The A-Team in 1984, Up the Creek, Protocol, #1 with a Bullet. So he's done like some good jobs in 84. It starts to pick up again at 87. He does #1 with a Bullet. He played Sergeant. Elvis and Me. He played Dermot in 1988. So the career's on the up. He plays Beaches alongside Bette Midler as cowboy actor. Oh God, he's got a fucking career like mine. Quantum Leap 1989, we're getting there. We've got 2 major television series now under our belt. We've been in the A-Team, Quantum Leap, we did Beaches with Bette Midler, Boom! Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I'm playing Dougie. It's all set to go. Westerner number 4 in 1991, the same year's Neon Empire, which is a TV movie, and then that's it.
Crashed and burned.
Yeah.
He'd hit the top and he realised he couldn't go any further, so he quit. Let's just say that.
And in Neon Empire, I'm looking at 25 down the cast list, and he's not appeared yet on the list. I have to go through to another page to find him. Now.
Oh shit! He didn't even make it on the first page.
Having said all that, 24 years go by, and 2015 happens, and Ken Gibble appears in a film called Dark Seduction.
Never heard of it. Did it go straight to DVD?
That's what I'm looking at as we speak. He plays a guy called Murdoch in Dark Seduction. So, yeah. Oh, God, it's reminding me. We need to get on to find that dude. Get him on the show. What's his name? God.
Sure.
Yes.
It's something Sure.
So, yeah, Ken Gibble plays Murdoch in this film. It's a horror film directed by Greg Travis. And Greg Travis, of course, is an actor from Starship Troopers, and he was in Showgirls as an actor. He's an actor in The Watchmen.
Both those movies.
So now he's a director.
So he went from in front of the camera to behind.
Yeah.
Have you never thought about doing behind the camera stuff?
Yeah.
Because I think you'd be pretty good at that too.
I think so too.
You've got good vision, you've got good artistic skills, you're creative, you've got lots of ideas.
Yeah, I agree. It's where to start though, isn't it? That's the thing. It's like if I was 22, it's something you could kind of do.
You
but
could be 28 to 30 at a push.
No, I know, but it's. I mean, look at the trouble we're having now just to keep a podcast afloat, and that's hopefully very easy. And it's trying to launch a directorial career as well. You know.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's having.
He juggles many balls.
It's having money.
Yes, my question to you, Ethan, Mr. Gibble, Mr. Licking Patient Face Man.
Mr. K. Gibble. That's too obvious. Let's call him Ken G.
Rapist glasses.
Yeah, he's got the rapist. Well, actually, not. They're kind of like more like
They're not,
super Coke bottle bottom kind of. Yeah.
Like hospitalized victim rapist glasses. So he's obviously strapping her in, and can I just say, those straps to the bed look like fucking sanitary pads. Like they don't look like they'd hold down a hamster, let alone a aggressive, like future fighting biatch. But anyway, as he's strapping her in, she kind of looks like she's been sedated, doesn't she?
Well, that's the intonation, and that's I suppose because in yeah.
This is my question. So he's just like, oh, you know. Well, she's giving off the impression she's sedated.
Well, the reason for that is, Ellie, I just remembered because I did watch the Skynet edition. I forgot to mention this. There was a previous scene with the dream sequence with Kyle, which is actually in this, but there's a longer version when they make her take her medicine.
Yeah. And
they pour the medicine down her throat, and then I think she resists, and then there's the black hospital attendant who.
He slugs her in the stomach, doesn't he?
Yeah, you've seen it. He hits her in the stomach with his night baton thing. Baton. So yeah, his name is Mark Christoper Laurence. He's the black guy, and this is obviously a continuation from that scene, and obviously she kind of didn't swallow the pill.
I was gonna say, surely he would know that he hadn't administered any drugs, but obviously she had. But where the hell did she get a paperclip from?
Well, the paperclip was on the.
I've seen a stray fucking stationery.
No, well, that's from the inquest when she's with Dr. Silverman. She takes it off the desk.
Is that when she flies at him?
Yeah, it's just before that. She gets the paperclip off a case file, and.
So with all these kind of scenes where she gets taken into the room, she has a hearing, and then they refuse and everything. Do we reckon this is meant to all be in one day?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'd never really thought about a timeline because again, I kind of watched this through the man with a child in his eyes.
No, well, that's this is the day of that hearing. The T-1000 is just arriving as we speak. She's been sedated, although I guess, yeah. Well, I think in the Skynet edition, I think she spits out the pill. I'm just confused now because I'm trying to think of multiple different Terminator editions.
they've sedated her though, would they need to strap her in that much? If she's out?
Well, I think
they really look like sanitary pads, dude.
I think because she's so calm and collected about this, like, sedated or not, I think this is quite a regular occurrence for her. She's either physically abused, I guess the intonation is she's sexually abused by Dougie, and Silverman's had her in there for...
Imagine that gut, like, slapping on your back as he fucked you from behind. That'd be disgusting. Oh, that overhang as he locks the door behind her and you get, like, the muffin top with the hips, like, fold over the fat back syndrome. It's a fatty deposit just above the waistline.
It does beg the question of, obviously, this happens in real life, I guess, to people. If there's, like, a vaguely hot patient, do they get Kill Billed by Buck, who likes to fuck, and etc.?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Like, not even just hot people. Like, I hate to say it, but there was a case ages ago.
Jimmy
My
Savile.
granddad used to live in Battersea. And old women were being, like, abused, like, sexually, like, physically. All kinds of horrible shit. If anyone, whenever you find, like, someone that's vulnerable in that kind of situation, unfortunately, they are the first victims. It's very sad. I, however, would not do anything sexual to Sarah Connor because I do not find her attractive at all.
Wow, a horrible cutting remark to end your diatribe on. Yeah, oh God, isn't it terrible, the abuses in, like, care homes and mental institutions? Anyway, fuck Sarah Connor, she's ugly. Thanks, Ellie.
To fuck or not to fuck. And then the scene ends when we first see that really attractive, like, receptionist lady with the voice like Marge Simpson, or actually more like Marge Simpson.
How about a beer?
Like, she eats cigarettes.
How about a beer?
She could be one fucking... What's it? Patty and Selwyn.
Well,
I've just got that scene in my head where Bart walks in and one of them's shaving her legs in the bathroom.
Mark Christoper Laurence, unlike Ken Gibble, has fared a little better in the acting game.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, he's in Garfield the movie. He's in The Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah, really soaring, dude.
He's in The Pursuit... Well, you know what? He's getting like 4 or 5 credits per year on all the things I'm looking at. I mean, a lot of it he's been in Glee, Chuck, the series, in several episodes.
This isn't good TV, though, dude. This is American schmaltzy fucking canned laughter.
You'll find this interesting, Ellie. He's in Halloween 2, the Rob Zombie sequel, Halloween 2.
Who was he in that?
Deputy Fred King. He's been in Heroes, The Pursuit of Happiness, as I said, Weeds, Hot Properties, The Island with Ewan McGregor. So he's done some good stuff. K-Pax.
What's the name of the guy that plays Machete?
Danny Trejo Machete.
That guy. He was in Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Was he?
I think so, yeah. Oh no, I'm thinking of Devil's Rejects.
Oh, forget it.
No, it's Devil's Rejects. Sorry, I'm just on Rob Zombie right now.
Well, his career started with Caddyshack 2 as a construction worker, and he did
Caddyshack, awesome.
Child's Play 3, which of course is made famous by the James Bulger killing because they said they're influenced by Child's Play 3. If anyone doesn't know, you should look it up. There's a thing called the James Bulger case, which in England and happened in 19...
Oh yeah, if you want some fucking light-hearted entertainment, you should probably explain to the people of America what the James Bulger case was before they start googling it in front of their kids.
What was it? It was
in Liverpool.
It was 2 young boys, wasn't it? They found a little kid about 3 in a shopping mall. And they basically grabbed him and walked him out of the shopping mall.
No, they didn't walk out. They dragged him kicking and screaming, and every single person that was in that mall, as you call it, they saw and they did absolutely nothing about it.
But I mean, would you? Because you just think, oh, it's their little brother. You wouldn't ever think.
No, he was kicking and screaming. That's not on.
It's just not on.
It's not. Pack it in. Like, I like to think that if I saw that, I would try and intervene. I'd be like, where are your parents? Like, what's going on?
Yeah,
well,
it's
they should have.
Walton, Liverpool it happened in. The 2 boys in question were John Thompson and Venables. Those are their last names, John Venables and someone Thompson.
Well, they've changed them now.
They have, but I mean, it's every few years they get outed in a paper, don't they? Go, this is what he looks like now, let's kill him. I don't know, I think the question, the dark notion within that I could ask now is, are they responsible for that because they were so young? I mean, is that the birth of a serial killer in a sense? Or did they just, like, play a prank and then he got out of hand, like, oh, we'll steal this baby, ha ha ha. And they're like, fuck, what do we do with him? You know how much trouble we'll get into? if
yeah, but Ethan, I think you need to explain the rest of the story before the listeners make a decision.
well, here's what I know without like obviously reading the Wikipedia page, which is right in front of me.
Ethan, you're cheating.
They took him to a local railway, I guess, track, didn't they?
Where there was a bridge. Yeah.
They threw stones at him. They stoned him to death, right?
No.
And then they put the stones up his bum.
Ethan, no.
I swear to God that was in the case.
No, they did, but the way you said it, they put it up his bum like he's having his fucking temperature taken. Jesus Christ. They smashed his head in with fucking bricks. That's how they ended up killing him. They tortured him. They sexually abused him by putting things up his arse, or up his bum, as you'd say. And then they caved his skull in with bricks.
Oh, okay, here we go. At the trial, it was established that at this location, one of the boys threw a blue Humbrol modelling paint at him, which they'd shoplifted earlier, into Bulger's left eye. They kicked and stomped on him. They threw bricks and stones at him. Batteries were placed in Bulger's mouth. Police believe the batteries may have been inserted into his anus, although none were found there. Okay. Finally, a 22-pound, 10-kilo iron bar, described in court as a railway fish plate, whatever that is, was dropped on him. Bulger suffered several skull fractures, the result of the iron bar striking his head. Dr. Alan Williams, the case pathologist, stated Bulger suffered so many injuries, 42 in total, that none could be isolated as the fatal blow.
Yep. Now that's a prank that went wrong? No, dude. Those kids are like the spawn of evil.
But would they be both evil at the same time, or would there be a leader and someone going along with it and going, fuck?
There's always that. There's always the dominant and there's always the more submissive of the two. But together, they say if they hadn't come together, they might not have committed the act. But when brought together, then that's what really kind of, it brings it out of them.
Venerable psychiatrist Dr. Susan Bailey reported visiting and revisiting the issue with John as a child, and now as an adolescent, he gives no account of any sexual element to the crime.
Of course he wouldn't, it's a boy.
So yeah, no, it's...
Yeah, it's really fucked up.
It is. It's just...
so interesting.
Here's another one. Jesus Christ. Fucking hell. This took a dark turn, didn't it?
I know, right?
Right, he was cut in half by the train. They left him on the train track. Bulger's severed body was discovered 2 days later, on the 14th of February, by a forensic pathologist who had testified he died before he was struck by the train. So they left him on the train tracks, I guess, hoping they could pretend like he'd wandered onto the tracks and been run over.
I'd never heard that part.
Well, there you go. It's, very dark.
Grim.
But they're out now, aren't they? Because they were tried as children. They couldn't be, I guess, incarcerated as adults.
And this is the thing. They get given new names. They get like all this protection. They get housed in a new place and everything. And I understand to a degree, but at the same time, I don't think it's right that you could move in next door to someone that's done that. I'm not saying ship all fucking murderers and whatever's off to Australia, but at the end of the day, like, everyone else's safety is also important, as well as the fucking respect and whatever for their privacy. You just think, Jesus Christ, like, who's the victim here? I don't know. They could end up fucking going, what's to stop them from, like, doing that again? I know they were children, but generally if it's manifested in you as a child, it's in you for good, dude. They say, oh, you know, it's like, don't even get me started on this whole thing where they try to rehabilitate paedophiles. The only way you can rehabilitate a paedophile is chemical castration. It's in them. Like, they get a physical and sexual, like, drive. Like, it's like what makes fucking you hard, Ethan? There you go, puffy nipples. You can't help it. You just like
Don't say that on the air.
I'll post a picture of what a puffy nipple is. I'll post the Tumblr.
All the listeners will know what they are. It's everyone's secret thing that they think is cool, whatever.
Well, they're all men, so yeah, they probably will do.
There's alleged pictures of John Venables and Thompson now, but I think that's not what... Yeah, that can't be them.
I just don't think you can rehabilitate that kind of shit. Like, if there's like if someone commits murder, say like someone robs a house and they think it's empty, and then the homeowner runs downstairs and goes to shoot them, and then the other person kind of defends himself, that kind of person, I think, you know, rehabilitation. You shouldn't be stealing. Try and, like, what's that kind of new therapy where they try and help change the way you like think about shit. I can't remember what it's called. It's like an acronym. I can't remember. It's like neuralistic programming or some shit like that. Maybe for those kind of people, but for the people that actually go out and do like purely evil shit, you can't rehabilitate those people.
No, but
Like,
would you?
It's in your DNA. It's in your makeup.
Maybe, but would you be? God, how do you put this? Would you be? You wouldn't want to do another crime, would you?
What's Jujubee got to do with this?
No, but the eyes of the world wouldn't be on you, like, would they? In a sense, no.
How do you mean?
Like you've done this awful crime as a child, so you're unlikely to kind of do anything to bring any attention onto yourself at all. Even though you must be like, if you are psychotic, you'd be like.
Yeah, but dude, if you're insane, you don't fucking know. I don't know. I just hope that there's some kind of controls around that whole situation, so that they can't ever like hurt anyone ever again.
But how would you do that, Ellie? Who watches the Watchers?
What was that weird movie that had Leonardo DiCaprio in? Shutter Island. Or should they keep him somewhere like that? Or just bring back the death penalty.
The only problem with the death penalty is you risk killing lots of innocent people, which is what the death penalty was actually responsible for many times over, based on racial prejudice and social prejudice and things.
I was in a war.
I was in a war.
You wouldn't catch me with my trousers down.
Would you like another fact attack? Now we've taken a dark alleyway on the show. Sorry.
Attack.
Wow, nice little explosion at the end. The casting director Marley Flynn cast Dougie, Ken Gibble, based on his licking of the face. She asked all the actors that auditioned to lick the face. I'm assuming it's not of her and someone that was on camera being the face licky in the audition, but yeah.
Imagine getting that casting call come through in email.
He was based on his extra sleazy face
licking face.
The only thing I could think of when I saw this at the cinema was how hairy like Linda Hamilton's face was. Because I'm looking at like
maybe that's what he's doing, like the cat. He's kind of like with his cat-like tongue.
I'm looking at a downloaded version of this, which is like I guess a bit better than DVD at best. But like on the Blu-ray I've got, it's she looks like bloody King.
Hasn't she got grubby feet?
Yeah, she's a hairy old. She's quite hairy.
Hairy old motherfucker.
She's got face like your arms.
Why? Oh my god, my arms are so hairy, it's unbelievable.
You never see Ellie and Bigfoot in the same picture. Notice that.
Do you know why? She is Sasquatch. Also, it must be utter bullshit that you can pick those locks with a fucking paperclip. Because why would no one else have done it? Where would she have learnt that skill?
I don't know.
I don't know. And another question. Gibble, why when he walks along the hallway does he like whack his baton, as you call it, on the doors? Surely that would just rile the people up, no?
Well, that's why it's been done. He's obviously a sadistic pig, and he's trying to wake up and agitate all the mentally ill people on that ward.
Why kind of people end up in those kind of jobs?
Well, Patrice mentioned this on that podcast the other day. I'm not sure if, like he said, like weak people go into positions of power like that because they've got no like attention or respect.
It's like the kid that got bullied at school always becomes a policeman.
Yeah, in a sense, because then you can.
I need respect because I didn't get it.
Yeah,
naturally.
And then it obviously it warps and corrupts the person, and then they hide behind that uniform.
But that's just power, dude. Power just corrupts.
Like Patrice said, a good policeman is someone that could arrest me if they weren't a policeman.
What, like citizens arrest?
No, but in the sense that he said this to a female police officer once. He's like, you're only arresting me because I'm allowing you to.
Yeah, but that's Patrice.
Because she was being like really, she was being a dick to him basically, and he's like, this is only happening because I'm allowing you to. I could quite.
But this is Patrice, dude.
No, but he said like you'd. There's a way of speaking to people that you can get their respect and compliance without being, shitty to them. I mean, we've all seen a million of those, I guess, clips on Facebook of like those American cop things about policemen sitting on someone's chest and just punch them in the face, even if they're like a homeless black woman and stuff.
Yeah.
you know, so then I don't think anyone should ever get to that point. I mean, but like you said, people that go into those kind of things. I mean, you've had all this recent stuff with what's it, that Elm Tree House thing, that paedophile ring, and all the people in this child protective services were kind of connected to it, or some of them were, and they were all gravitating to these kind of jobs where they got to work and like care for children, foster children and stuff. So.
I remember my dad telling me years ago when he was like in college, he worked at this children's home, and he said that most of the people that worked there with these kids, they hated children and they were horrible. And he was like, how can you get people in this kind of profession? Like, it's so fucked up. And like, you know, going back to abuse, God, we love this subject tonight. It's always in those homes where kids are like sexually abused and molested, and it's so fucked up, man. Again, it's that thing with the vulnerable. It's so easy. They're such easy targets.
Well, I think
and incredibly sexy, apparently.
The third side to that, I guess.
It was a hairy face. I just had to lick it.
The third facet to this is you get into it for the right reasons, but then I suppose being around kids constantly, they're probably fucking annoying as fuck and don't do what they're told.
But if like kids like fucking next door neighbours' kids, like they annoy me like hell. I don't want to fuck little Stevie.
Visiting my father in the old folks home recently.
I just want to skin his cat and fucking hang it outside his window like a fucking dream catcher.
Visiting my father in the old people.
Little Steve.
Ah, she's finished. I said visiting my father recently in the old people's home. You can kind of see how you can get frustrated with people like that, because you know sometimes they can be belligerent or disrespectful, or they kind of like, you tell them, you try and help them, they keep doing the same thing. It's not their fault, it's because they're elderly and infirm. But like whenever I see like those like videos of a surveillance camera and there's someone just bouncing an old person's head off a bed, you go, it's terrible. But then you go, you know.
But what point did they get to get pushed to do that?
At what point do you cry and go, I can't take this shit anymore. Just fucking eat your fucking porridge, you fuck. Yeah.
Every now and again, dude, like I expect you to call me and just be like, yeah, so I went to see my dad today and I bashed his brains in with his piss bucket. Do they still have like bedpans in hospitals?
No, they have a catheter which goes down your urethra, and it goes into a little bag that hangs on the side of the thing, which begs the question, weirdly, because he's got a colostomy bag, you'd assume the poo and the wee went all in the same place, but I guess it doesn't.
No, of course it doesn't.
So he's got 2 bags.
2 bags. Papa's got a brand new bag.
So yeah, there we go. That was a fact packed, and
it was pretty dark.
It was an interesting episode, but I think we're back into a flow again now. Apologies to the listeners for the gaps last week. We're going to try and catch up, hopefully over this coming weekend. Are you going out this weekend, Ellie?
Looks like she's got one crazy ass camel toe in this scene as well. But anyway.
No. If you got something to say about the scene, please say.
It looks like she's got a camel toe. I've said my bit.
Yeah, I mean, well, like you said, I think the reason he's hitting the doorways and the metal runners around each of the doors is just so he can annoy and like agitate people.
Stamp his authority. Kind of thing.
I mean, I'm sure if he's on the night shift, he slips into other rooms and does weird shit to the other patients too.
It's just that gut, man. Just that horrible, like, I bet it's hairy as well.
It's almost, in a sense, it's almost like, God, I'm such a devil's advocate, aren't I? The way you'd perhaps defend a Catholic priest who's sworn off kind of sex or anything like that, or denied anything that he's naturally attracted to, and then they put them in a room with like young boys for an entire lifetime.
I know, it's fucking ridiculous.
You probably don't start off like that, but I guess if you're in this like quandary, this bubbling cauldron of like, oh, I can't think this, oh, I can't, I'm not allowed to do that. Eventually,
that's what happened to you then.
No, because I could never get into that mindset of like denying things to myself. I'm too honest with myself in that sense. But I think a lot of people, I need to find comfort in religion. Then they get locked into this system of like.
And then like they really find comfort in religion.
Well, no, it's cognitive dissonance. You find ways of justifying your actions, however evil. I mean, who was it now? Someone said they were playing a baddie in a film, and I said you never play an evil person, because an evil person thinks they're doing good from their point of view.
Well, no, do they?
Well, it's the paedophile thing, isn't it? They go, oh, it's how I show them love. It's whichever
kind
of, it's whichever creepy.
I do it because I love you.
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone or I'll kill myself.
Yeah, but that's the kind of like way they justify it, isn't it? They know it's wrong, but you kind of like figure out.
But they do that. But they also do that to make the victim kind of feel like they're the one to blame as well.
Yeah, well, the little video game cheats, aren't they, to kind of like
Exactly.
allow it to happen in their mind. So people are fucked.
In the words of Jim Morrison, people are strange.
I know I'm saying that with like 1 foot on the body of a dead child. I'm just kidding.
And you're already planning on how to kill your dad the next time you visit him in the old people's home.
Basically, I'm going to smother him.
And then it's just your mum.
I'm going to smother him.
She's the final. Every time you kill someone, every time like you get angry at someone, really you're just killing or getting angry at your mum.
Well, that's the Buddhist proverb, isn't it? You have to kill Buddha to kind of gain total enlightenment, ultimately. Exactly. Or Oedipus or Electra or anything you want to mention. But yeah, basically
killer and eater.
The plan is to smother him and then throw the sink out the window like Cuckoo's Nest and then just run off into a field.
Hello, mother.
Can you even hear me, Ellie? I just said I'm going to smother him, throw a sink out the window and like run out the building like Cuckoo's Nest across the field.
Can you film it all?
Which, weirdly, that film Cuckoo's Nest at the end when he does like break out of the hospital and throw the sink out the window.
Yeah.
You know, 10 minutes after the credits rolled, in the universe of that film occurring again, there'd be just like hospital workers and police surrounding him going, come on, chief, come on, it's all over. Put your hands up, we're going back. What have you done?
Actually, that would be a really interesting thing to do, to like, maybe another idea for something one day. To kind of discuss like what the next half hour of the end of movies would be.
Sure.
So when they walk off into the sunset, what happened half an hour after that? Not in real life, but possibly in the story.
Well, it's like in Titanic when the ship's sinking, and that elderly couple just get on the bed and accept their fate and lie on the bed.
Yeah.
As the water's like pumping into the room. And I suppose it's like
that is not how I would go out.
Exactly. I suppose it's this kind of essentially romantic notion of like, oh, we're gonna go together. But you do know as soon.
Really, she'd be shitting into his mouth.
No, but as soon as that kind of scene cuts, you go, oh, they're gonna die together. You do know, like 10 seconds later, if you went back to that room, you'd be like, oh god, drowning on like ice cold water, and it'd be like awful.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that was episode 26 of the 2-Minute Terminator.
Really? We covered lots and lots.
We did.
Not all topical, but I think we brought it back round. Well, we kept it around the kind of abuse of the kind of like healthcare system.
Well, we did 20 minutes on the actual film.
Awesome.
So
radical, man, radical.
I'm happy with
yeah, thanks for joining us again, peeps. I thought you were going to speak. That's why I went quiet.
Why? Oh, you went quiet finally. I've been trying to talk. You've been talking over me for an hour and a half.
Sorry, Ethan. Would you like to sign us out?
Not at all. You got anything you need to add, Eleanor?
No, that's everything. I'm all fact out.
Wow. Are you doing anything this weekend?
What am I doing this weekend? There's a possibility that I could be going to like a big house party.
Ooh. Why?
Yeah, this guy, I've known him for years. He used to go out with one of my friend's older sisters.
Here we go.
Little sisters. You'd have fancied the fuck out of her. She was really fit, but she was a massive cunt. But you seem to go for that.
Thanks.
Yeah, so anyway, I know this guy, and he kind of like started off as a tree surgeon, and then recently just like made like
boring
this company and this business, and now he's got this huge house. It's like detached, and he's got loads of land, and he's just had a new pool and a new hot tub put in, and it's his 30th birthday. So he wants to celebrate, so he's having like a really big like long weekend party. And because there's like loads of land, I think people are going to camp in tents and stuff. So I might be going to that, but I'm not sure.
Wow, are you planning on going wild as you normally do?
Who knows? They said that there might be some strippers there.
Oh shit, I'm coming.
I'm sure you could come if you wanted to.
Well, that sounds lovely. Well, hopefully we can get a full week of episodes in before then. We shall return tomorrow with episode 27 of the 2-Minute Terminator. Whatever minute that is, I have no fucking idea because the timeline's cocked up. There's meant to be 80 episodes of this thing. We're on episode 27. It's all gone wrong. And this tiny little fracture in the timeline now will just turn into this giant crevasse by the time we get to episode 60. So yeah, thank you for listening, everyone. My sincerest apologies for last week. I was actually working. Ellie's sincerest apologies for just promising to do 2 episodes on a Sunday and actually forgetting. So
I didn't. I was passed out.
I know. And we thank you for that.
Sleepy Jefferson. Oh yeah, I do apologise. But thank you so much for tuning back in, and we'll be back tomorrow. Hasta la vista.
Baby. Oh, shit. Bulger. There we go.
Bulger. Faggot.
Ellie.
Watch out for machines, they're unstoppable. Watch out for machines, they will rule the world. I'll be back.